The world's biggest technology company has fallen foul of US sanctions against China. Now, Apple has reportedly backpedaled on its plans to use memory chips from the Chinese producer YMTC. That's after lawmakers threatened American companies with not to bond too closely with Beijing.
Apple is playing with fire. It knows the security risks posed by YMTC memory technologies. If it moves forward, it will be subject to scrutiny like it has never seen from the federal government. We cannot allow Chinese companies beholden to the Communist Party into our telecommunications networks and millions of Americans' iPhones.
The tech giant has had to go back on its plan of using Chinese chips. That's after the Biden administration introduced restrictions this month, damaging China's tech industry and targeting imports from Beijing, as well as exports to the country. Despite the benefits of incorporating Chinese technology components, the US has decided to crack down on their use, clashing with the principles of a level playing field.
The heart of American capitalism is a simple idea: open and fair competition. But let me be very clear. Capitalism without competition isn't capitalism. It's exploitation. Without healthy competition, big players can change and charge whatever they want and treat you however they want.
Well, earlier we spoke to Brian Berletic, former US Marine and geopolitical analyst, who told us the US's aggressive attitude towards China comes down to Beijing outcompeting their rivals economically.
China is outcompeting the United States. It will surpass the United States, and there's nothing the U.S. can do about this. China has a larger population. They have world-class infrastructure. They graduate millions more in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields every single year. They are going to surpass the United States, and there's nothing the U.S. can do about it. And thinking that they can is delusional, and delusion results in increasingly desperate and dangerous measures. The only way they can sell measures that are going to have a serious cost, not for China in the short term, but in the long term, it's going to be Americans. The only way to sell that is to convince Americans that there's some sort of threat that makes all of this trouble that is coming worth going through. The United States is going to continue pursuing what will be increasingly desperate measures. They will be increasingly dangerous. And other nations around the world need to think about this. If it's China today and the United States is able to somehow subordinate China, it'll be every other nation tomorrow. And this is something every nation needs to keep in mind. Every company needs to keep in mind.